based on the prior knowledge, if we'll ask any query to the program, it will give us the different answers related to it. Okay. So yesterday we have seen one example. Let's start with the same example what we have seen yesterday. So in the yesterday's example, what we have seen is this particular example here. We have some logic which is given. So what are the logic we have? We have the logic like there is the hierarchy of relationship between father and their children, sorry, parent and their children's. So we'll go through the same again. So here for the first one, it is written like John is the father of Lily. The second, it is written Kathy is the mother of Lily. And next it is written Lily is the mother of Billy. So the how the hierarchy will go on. So it is like this. So it will be a John who is the father of Lily. Right. And there is a Kathy who is the mother of Lily. Kathy who is the mother of Lily. And Lily, she is the mother of Bill. So Lily is the mother of Bill. And the last one is not with this hierarchy. It is a separate one, which says that Ken is the father of Karen. Right. So this we have seen, and this is the knowledge that we'll give to the system. And based on this knowledge, we'll ask some questions. So what is the first question that we have asked yesterday? And before going to that, this is actually called predicate logic. Okay. In the predicate logic, we'll put the syntax in that particular way, where we have the predicates. So this is the predicate, and these are some variables. So here it is the constant value which is written in the small letter. And if we have this father, so father is a predicate. And if we have capital X and capital Y, so these two will become the variable. So in the predicate logic, whatever we'll write in the small letters are the constant value, and whatever we'll write in the capital letter are the variables acting as a variable. And the whole thing is called atomic formula or atom. And this is the relationship between two entities or two constants are called predicate. So it may be a friend, right? X may be the friend of Y, or it may be like teacher-student relationship. Let's say A, B, C is the teacher of Ajay. Okay, in that way also we can write it down. Now, in this, we have asked two questions actually. So what was the question? The question was, who is the grandparent John Billy? Miss John Billy is a grandparent. John is the grandparent of Billy or not? So this question we have asked. This is yes or no question. So John is the grandparent of Billy. That is the first question. And the second question is Q. Any variable is a grandparent of Karen. So we have to find out the grandparent of Karen, and it will be assigned to this particular variable. Whatever constant will come as an output. So let's see and try to understand the whole concept. So for that, we'll write this particular logic into the prolog. So let's do that. So all this logic We'll just put into the Prolog. So this is one platform where we can run the Prolog programs. Okay. So here I am just copy and pasting those codes. So what is the first code? First code, it is written grandparent xz. So xz is nothing but the variable. Okay. Now it says it is training the system is in that way, like x is a grandparent of z if, so this symbol is telling about if x is a parent of y and y is a parent of z, right? So it is becoming a hierarchy. So x is a parent of y and y is a parent of z. So z will be the child. The z parent is y and y parent is x. So in that way we can say that x is a grandparent of z, right? The second, it says that x is a parent of y if x is a father of y, right? So who will be the parent? If somebody is the father or somebody is a mother, then only they can become the parent. So it is listed in these two ways. X is a parent of y if x is a mother of y, right? So these two logic also we have to write. After that, we have to put the constant, like who is the father and who is the mother. So first it says that John is the father of Lily, Kathy is the mother of Lily, and Lily is the mother of Bill. The last one is actually out of the context, so we'll just remove it from here for the time being. We just remove it. So this is my logic, right? Here I can make the relationship between two constant using this particular logic what I have written. So this logic I have written in the form of variable. This is some constant value, and after that I'll write some query. Now the first query that I'll write is, and I'll just see that whether John is a grandfather of Bill or not, right? So what I'll write here is, I'll write grandparent, and I'll just write the name John and just write the name Bill. Now what is the meaning of that? The meaning of that is John is a grandparent of Bill, which is not written here, right? Here it is written only in the form of variable. So it says that x will be assigned to John and z will be assigned to Bill. After that, it says that if x is a parent of y and y is a parent of z. Now here there is no y, right? It will take the y from here. Now it will take the y from here in that way. So parent is father or mother. So it will take either of the logic and it will say that whether this statement is true or not, right? So what do you think? The statement is true or not? So here the statement is absolutely true because John and Kathy are the grandparent of Bill. Why? Because John and Kathy are the parent of Lily and Lily is a mother of Bill. So definitely John will be the grandparent of Bill. Let's run this. So once we'll run it, it will say true, right? It will say true. Now let's try to see other queries. Let's see that I don't know who is the grandparent of Bill. So I want that name, who is the grandparent of Bill. So I'll just give here a variable. Okay. And let's see what name will come. So who is the grandparent of Bill? So there are two grandparents. One is John, another is Kathy, who is the grandparent of Bill. Why? Because John and Kathy are the parent of his mother. So let's see. Let's run this. Here the answer is John because we have two options of the grandparent. Either it will be a grandfather or grandmother, right? So we have grandfather as well as we have grandmother. So it will pick any of these, any of the name. Okay. In the same way, we can put some other queries also. What way we can put? So we can put that who is the mother of Lily? How you can find out who is the mother of Lily? Let's see this. So I'll just write here mother, and I'll just write who as a variable, and I'll use the constant value as Lily. So I want that who is the mother of Lily. Okay. Can find it out? Let's see whether we can find it out or not. Yes, we can find it out. See, it is written Kathy. So Kathy is the mother of Lily. Now, who is the father of Lily? If we'll run it, it will give me the answer. John is the father of Lily. So I think you got the concept, right? So the concept here is in the logic program, we have to give the knowledge base to the system. And based on the knowledge base, we have to give definitely some logics. Okay. So there is a knowledge base, there is some logics. And based on these two, based on the input, the system will give me the output. Okay. Now it is not only for that purpose. Okay. We can use it for different purposes also, the logic program. And once you will understand it, it is very easy to write your own program. Now this statement will say if, means this is one clause, this is another clause. These two clauses exist, means this clause exists if this exists. It means like that. So the X is a parent of Y if X is the father of Y. X is a parent of Y if X is a mother of Y. In that way, we used to interpret it. Okay. So this was the first example that we have seen yesterday. Now let's go and try to understand some more examples. Okay. Let's see, there are some more example as in the form of relationships. Okay. So I'm just taking this and putting into the. So what is the first relationship? It says friend. Raju is a friend of Mahesh. Second, it says that Sonu is a singer. And third one, it says that 5 is an odd number. Getting it? So all these are nothing but the predicate. This is called predicate. This is also called predicate. This is also called predicate. And inside that, what is there inside the bracket are called constant value or the entity. Let's say I want to find out who is the friend of Mahesh or who is the friend of Raju. So how will find it out? So what query we have to write here? I'll just have to write friend. Let's say I don't know who is a friend of Mahesh. So definitely it will give me the answer that Raju is a friend of Mahesh, right? Let's see. Yes. So the answer is Raju. So Raju is a friend of Mahesh. Can we just reverse the question that who is the friend of Raju? Can we do that? Yes, we can do that. Let's run this. So it says that Mahesh is a friend of Raju. So because we have given the knowledge to the system, and based on that, if we are doing any query, it will give me the answer. Okay. Now let's say and you know what is that? No, because we have only one value, so it doesn't have to worry about it. So we have to just write that who is the singer, it will say Sonu, and the odd number, it will say 5 is the odd number. So if I'll say only singer, who is singer, right? I'll just write the variable name, who is singer. And this is my query, right? Who is singer? So I'll write it singer and Q. So it will give me Sonu is a singer because I have only one singer available. And it says that odd number. So it is written odd underscore number. I'll say what is the odd number. So it says that 5 is the odd number. Can we say that 7 is the odd number? Can it will give me the true value? 7 is definitely an odd number, but I haven't defined into the system. So it will give me false. Right? If I say 5 is an odd number, because I have defined it, it says true. So I think you got the idea behind the logic and the Prolog programming. Let's do something related to the friends. Okay, let's do something. Let's say we have a relation of x and y. Okay, and I'll say that x and y are the friend. How x and y are the friend? If, or let's say x and z are the friend, I'll write it. And I'll write here that x is a friend of y, and how we can write AND operation. We just make it comma and y is a friend of z. So it is just a mutual, right? If x is a friend of y and y is a friend of z, can I say x is a friend of z? So friend का friend अपना क्या हो जाएगा? Friend हो जाएगा. In that way, I am putting the logic. Let's assume that Raju is a friend of Mahesh, and just put some more values here. That Mahesh is a friend of Anil. Getting it? Now, can we say that Raju and Anil are the friend? Let's ask this question to the system. What is the question? My question is that Raju is a friend of Anil or not. So Raju is a friend of Anil. So because I have written in a capital letter, it is giving some more warning. It is better to put in a small letter. So my question is, Raju is a friend of Anil or not? I haven't defined it, right? मैंने यहाँ पर कोई define नहीं किया है कि राजू अनिल का friend है या नहीं है. हमने लिखा है Raju is a friend of Mahesh and Mahesh is a friend of Anil. And I have given the logic. The logic is X is a friend of Z if X is a friend of Y and Y is a friend of Z. Let's see whether this way is working or not. So it will give me either true or false, right? So here in this case, it should give true. Okay, there is some syntax error, operator expected. Let's see. Okay. Okay. here they required some operators. Hmm. Yes, now it is correct. Now what was happening is I have given the same name to the function. So that's why it is actually making in a recursion way and it is going to the infinite loop. Here what I have written is friend only. If I'll say X is a friend of Z, so X should be friends of Y and Y should be friends of Z. And I have defined friends. Raju is a friends of Mahesh. Mahesh is a friends of Anil. So if I'll ask the question to the system that Raju is a friend of Anil, then it will give me true. Getting it? Based on my logic. Okay, so I think you understood some of the functionality of Prolog. You can do some practice in that. Let's see some more examples. Let's see a program. And what is that program? That program says that find the last element of a list. Let's say I have given the list and I want the last element of the list. Okay. So how it will be done? So first I have to define a function. That function is having like this. Let my last in that way. It says that my last and x and L, where x is the last element of the list L. So L is a list and x is a variable that I want as output. Now element and list is there, and last is another function which will say element and the list is predefined. Now this is the logic behind this. I have to write my last, and in that I'll put some variable onto it. So let's do that. So what is my problem? My problem is to find the last element of the list. So here in this logic, what you have find? You have find that there is a predicate that x is my last element of x. Now here this particular x is the list. List means is an array. And x is nothing but a variable. And my last will give me the last element from that particular x. Okay. And here is the logic. The logic is x is my last from that particular list where I have to pick up the last element. So I'll pick up the last element. So underscore will taking all the element from first to the second last, and L is the last element. So I am putting this if my last element is L. Okay. So this is the logic behind it, to find it out the last element from the list. Now let's pass some list here and try to understand that how it works. So I'm passing this list into the query. What is this? This is a variable. So in the variable, my last element will come, and this you pick up as a list L. And in the list L, we have to pick up this last element. So it is underscore, and then there is a pipeline operator and L written. So in the L, actually D will be assigned, and that D we are picking up and we are taking and we are putting into the X variable. Okay. So let's run this. So you see, we got the last element. So x equal to d that we got. If you want to put some more values or some different value, you can put it. Now in this particular list, who is the last element? 6 is the last element, right? See, it is coming. 6 is the last element. Now what is the logic? The logic is written here. First, we have to define what we want to do. Then we have to define the logic. The logic says that x is the last element of that particular list L if x is the last element of L. So this is how we can do that. Let's go to other examples. This is example 2. What it says that find the last but one element of the list. So right now we doesn't have to go for the last element. We have to go to the second last element. So how we'll find it out? Here also we have element x where we'll put the second last element, and L is the list that we have to keep it. So the logic is this. Last but one. So what we use x, and will not use the value x only here. So x and then underscore. So underscore is my last element, and x we have to pick up the second last element. Now the logic here is we have to go from one first to the second last, and this is the last element actually. So the last but one will be x, and then whatever the y is, and another variable y is. So this will give me the output. Let's see. This is my logic, okay? And this is my query. So I'll just take the query and I'll put it in. Last but one, the variable is x, and the list is A, B, C, D. So which is the last but one element here? So you'll find out that C is the last but one element. We'll just run it. So you'll get C as the answer. So this is the logic behind that. So how we can find out the last but one, means the second last element from the list. Let's go to other question. Now it says that find the kth element of the list. How will find out the exact element that we want, the kth element of the list. So we have to put the element that we want, we have to put the list and the index also. Index means kth element. So we have to put the k value also. So how we can do that? This is the logic. It's very simple. Let's put it here and try to understand the logic. Now here, this is the predicate is x is element at x, and that we want all x but one element that we want. And we start with one, the first element. Here it will go up to kth element. If k is greater than 1, if k value is greater than 1, then it will go to k1 is k minus 1, and then again we have to call the same function call. So it is a recursion call will be there, and we have to go x, l, and k1 again, and we have to go up to k greater than 1, means we have to go up to k equal to 1. So because we'll get only one element, so we'll pick that particular element and get into the output. So if you know about the recursion function, it is very easy to understand. Okay, let's put some query here. So let's say this is my query. I want the element. From the element, I want the third element. Let's run it. The answer is C. What is the third element? This is the first element A, then B is the second element, and C is the third element. So I am getting the element from the list and I want the third element. Let's say I want the fourth element. So I'll get D as the answer, right? I want the second element. I'll get B as the answer, right? So this is the way how we can do some programming into the Prolog. Let's see some more. Find the number of element in the list. Let's say I have a list and I want that how many elements are there in the list. That only 2 elements are there, 3 elements are there, 4 elements are there. How many elements are there in the list? So let's see the logic. Okay, now in this we have a list, and previously the count was 0, right? I have a list and previously the count is 0 if there is no element. Now we'll start the logic here, that we have a list. So we have a list from 0 to n minus 1, and the last element is L, and n is a variable where we'll put the length. Okay, I want n into the length. Now again we'll call the function recursive function. So it says that this is true if L is my length of n1, where n is n1 plus 1. Okay, so it will do a increment in n all the time by putting n1 plus 1, and at last we'll get the length of the list. Okay, let's put some query there. So my query is like this: I want the length of that particular list, and I want the length in this particular variable x. So what is the length? The length is the 4. So 4 will come as the output. See, let's find out the length of it. Let's say I am increasing the length and I am running it again. So the length will be increasing also. So you see my logic is working very fine. Let's see some more example. Here it says that create a list containing all integer with a given range. Let's say I want to create the list of integers, and I'll give the range, that this is my range, means this is the starting one and this is the ending one, and I want these much of element as the output. So let's put it here and see the logic. So the logic is like that. I have the range, and it is starting with starting symbol, it is ending with ending symbol, and it is putting all those value into this particular list. So I want this particular list as output. So I is the initial value, k is the length of that particular value, so how much it will go, and it will go from the first element up to the last element. So what is the logic? It says that this is possible if I will be less than k, means let's say I am initial value is 1 and the last value is 5, right? If we'll say initial value is 5 and the last value is 1, it is not going to work, because we do not want the 5 to 1, we want 1 to 5, means it should be a increasing order. If this condition is satisfied, then we have to take the variable, another variable I1 is I plus 1, and then we have to call the function again to generate some more data. And it is increasing by 1, right? So you have the gap between the initial element and the final element as 1. So there is no, what you can say, options we have. Let's see some query here. So query is, we want the initial element should be 4, final element should be 9, and we'll put the value into the list L. So what it is going to print? It is going to print 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this will be my output. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is my output. It is just going to print the list of the initial value up to the final value by increasing the value by 1. If you want to make, yes.
Yes, can you please repeat this on this particular logic?
Okay. So in this particular logic, what we are doing is we are taking the initial value, we are going up to the final value, and then we are putting the values into the list. Okay. So we want the list as an output. So I'll give the value I, I'll give the value K. I is the initial value, K is the final value. And what I want the value from that particular I value, means the initial value, up to that particular list. So first I have the logic. The logic says that the I should be less than K, means the initial value should be less than the final value. If it is there, then we'll increase the value of I1 to I plus 1, and then we'll call the recursion function with I1, K, and L. So this function will be call itself one by one till this condition satisfied. Okay. So till this condition satisfied, we are going to increase the value of I1. I1 जब तक के के बराबर नहीं हो जाता तब तक के हमको इस पर्टिकुलर फंक्शन को कॉल करना है बार बार, ताकि हम कहां तक के पहुंच जाएं, के तक के पहुंच जाएं, और सभी वैल्यू को हम कहां पर स्टोर कर रहे हैं, एल में स्टोर कर रहे हैं, राइट. So that we are doing here. So when we are querying it, let's say initial value is, let's say 1, and the final value is, let's say 10. I want the number from 1 to 10. And how can I do that? So with the help of that, we can do it, right? So it is printing 1 to 10 numbers. Now this is incrementing by 1. You can increment by 2 also by putting the logic here. I'm putting 2. So now it is starting with 1, ending with 10, but it is incrementing value 2. Let's see. Okay, what was the problem? Okay, all the time it should increment by 1 only. Yes, it is doing that. So it is going from 1 up to 11 by incrementing 2. So 1, and then incrementing by 2, it will be 3. 3 plus 2, it will be 5. 5 plus 2, it will be 7. 7 plus 2, it will be 9. And 9 plus 2, it will be 11. Because previously we have 10, value 10, it is giving you the value false. Why? Because the last value it didn't include. Okay, so this is one way how we can do programming in Prolog. We have some more example. So why I'm telling you different examples, so that you can understand this particular language, Prolog language. Then the next is determine whether a given integer is prime or not. So what is the logic behind prime number? So the logic behind prime number is prime number should be divisible by either itself or 1, right? So it is divisible by either itself or by 1. So to putting that particular logic, we have the logic here. I'm just taking this particular logic. Let's see what is this. So I have defined some prime number. So 2 is a prime number. 3 is also a prime number. Now here is saying that P is a prime number if P is an integer and P should be greater than 3, and P mod 2 should be P mod 2, you know, the we have yesterday we have done the modulus, the remainder, right? So if we have any variable P, and if we do modulus of 2, if it is 0, then what is the meaning of that? It is divisible, right? So what we do not want that it should be divisible. So that's why this is the expression for that. That it says that true if expression 1 evaluate to the number non-equal to expression 2. So this is not equal to symbol, okay? And then it says that as factor P and 3. So here we are calling a function has factor, okay? So प्राइम नंबर, किसी भी नंबर का प्राइम नंबर होने के लिए ये कंडीशन सेटिस्फाई होना चाहिए. पहला p इंटीजर होना चाहिए, हम लोग फ्लोटिंग पॉइंट नंबर नहीं लेंगे. दूसरा p की वैल्यू 3 से ज्यादा होना चाहिए, क्योंकि हमने ऑलरेडी डिफाइन कर दिया है. अगर हमारे पास वैल्यू आएगा 2 तो हम उसको प्राइम नंबर बोल देंगे, 3 आएगा तो भी उसको प्राइम नंबर बोल देंगे. बट 4 आएगा तो उसके लिए हमारे पास लॉजिक है, या 5 आएगा तो उसके हमारे पास लॉजिक है. ना अगर 4 आया तो हम क्या करेंगे, ये सेटिस्फाई करता है 4 इज अ प्राइम नंबर, देन 4 इज ग्रेटर देन 3, ये भी सेटिस्फाई करता है. फिर यहाँ पर देखेंगे 4 mod 2 है या नहीं है. सो 4 mod 2 क्या होगा, 0 इज इक्वल टू 0, देन ये कंडीशन सेटिस्फाई नहीं करेगा. क्या होना चाहिए, नॉट इक्वल टू 0 होना चाहिए. मान लो अगर 5 आया तब क्या करेंगे, okay, so let's see the logic here. So if there is a 5, p is 5, so 5 mod 2 is definitely not equal to 0, right? So this condition is also satisfied. After that, we'll go to the factor, whether it is false or it is true. Factor means we have to find out whether there is some other factors or not. Means if integer is a odd integer, so odd integer के भी कुछ factors हो सकते हैं. जैसे मान लो हमारे पास एक odd integer है 15. 15 is a odd integer, right? But there is a factor, means 15 could be divided by 5, 15 could be divided by 3 itself. So 15 को prime number बोलेंगे क्या, नहीं बोलेंगे. 15 is not a prime number, right? So we have to find out the factor, and this will give me the value true or false. So let's see इसका लॉजिक क्या है. हैश फैक्टर का लॉजिक है, हमारे पास वैल्यू n रहेगा, वैल्यू l रहेगा. So n is a odd factor f, and this particular factor should be greater than equal to l. Now यहाँ पर हम लोग क्या करेंगे, पहले उसका मॉड्यूलस निकालेंगे. इक्वल टू 0 है क्या, अगर है तो उसका फैक्टर है. मीन्स कोई भी इंटीजर अगर किसी दूसरे इंटीजर को डिवाइड कर देता है, इट मीन्स रिमाइंडर क्या होगा, 0. इफ इट इज अ रिमाइंडर 0 तो उसका फैक्टर है. दूसरा लॉजिक है कुछ बड़े के लिए मतलब अगर हमारे पास बड़ा वेरिएबल है तो उसके लिए क्या करेंगे, हम लोग l को लेंगे, l इंटू एल करेंगे, उसमें देखेंगे कि इज लेस देन n और नॉट. इफ इट इज लेस देन n, then we'll find out another variable l2, and l की वैल्यू को इंक्रीज करेंगे by 2 से और उसका फैक्टर पता करेंगे. तो यहाँ पर क्या हो रहा है, यहाँ पर ऐसा हो रहा है, देखो अगर हमारे पास 5 है तो 5 है तो ये वाला काम करेगा, राइट? क्योंकि 5 के लिए क्या कर रहे हैं हम लोग, यहाँ पर 4 के लिए तो पता चल गया कि ये कंडीशन सेटिस्फाई नहीं कर रहा है, बट 5 ये कंडीशन सेटिस्फाई कर रहा है. अब हमको पता करना है उसका फैक्टर है या नहीं. सो 5 के लिए हम लोग क्या करेंगे, यहाँ पर रहेगा 5, 5, 3 आ जाएगा यहाँ पर, तो यहाँ पर आ जाएगा 5, यहाँ पर आ जाएगा 3. 5 मॉडुलस 3 रिमाइंडर आएगा कि नहीं आएगा? डेफिनेटली आएगा। सो बिकॉज हमारे पास रिमाइंडर आया जो कि 0 नहीं है, तो ये वैल्यू क्या क्या देगा हमको? ये देगा फॉल्स। यहाँ पर आ जाएगा हमारे पास फैक्टर नहीं है, फॉल्स वैल्यू आ जाएगा। तो हमको पता चल जाएगा कि ये प्राइम नंबर है। नाउ अगर हमारे पास 7 है तो क्या होगा? 7 है तो ये वाला लॉजिक काम नहीं करेगा, क्योंकि 7 मॉड 3, ये वाला लॉजिक पहले देख लेते हैं। 7 मॉड 3 ये तो हो गया फॉल्स ना। अभी क्या हो गया है कि हमारा एल वैल्यू हमारा है 3, सो 3 into 3 इट विल बिकम 9। 9 इज लेस देन 7, यस 9 इज लेस देन 7। उसके बाद ये लॉजिक करेंगे, ये लॉजिक जाएगा, उसमें इंक्रीज करेंगे एल की वैल्यू को, तो एल की वैल्यू हो जाएगी 5, और उसके बाद 7 को 5 से डिवाइड करने की कोशिश करेंगे। हो रहा है या नहीं हो रहा है? नहीं हो रहा है, नहीं होगा, क्योंकि ये लॉजिक जो है वो नेक्स्ट टाइम के लिए यूज नहीं होगा, क्योंकि 5 हो गया, 5 into 5 हो जाएगा 25, 25 विल बी लेस देन 25 विल बी लेस देन 7, फॉल्स हो जाएगा, तो हम बाहर निकल आएंगे यहाँ पे। सो कुल मिला के हमको क्या करना है कि हमको देखना है कि कोई नंबर प्राइम है या नहीं है। तो उसके लिए लॉजिक है कि पहले देखेंगे कि वो नंबर ऑड है या नहीं। अगर ऑड होगा और 2 और 3 से ज्यादा होगा, तब हम जाएंगे उसके फैक्टर में, और उसके फैक्टर को फाइंड आउट करने के लिए हर ऑड नंबर से ही उसको डिवाइड करेंगे, क्योंकि इवन नंबर से तो हमने डिवाइड करके पहले देख लिया। इवन नंबर से अगर डिवाइड नहीं हो रहा है तो हम ऑड नंबर से ही डिवाइड करेंगे बाय इंक्रीजिंग द ऑड वैल्यू बाय 2। क्यों? क्योंकि 3 रहेगा तो दूसरा ऑड वैल्यू क्या होगा? 5। 5 रहेगा तो दूसरा ऑड वैल्यू क्या होगा? 7। सो इसमें क्या है अंतर? इसमें है 2 का अंतर। दैट्स व्हाई वी आर इंक्रीजिंग इट बाय 2 and we are using this particular recursion function. So this is a recursion function that we are using here to find out whether a number has a factor or not. Factor मतलब कि वो किसी से डिवाइड हो पा रहा है या नहीं हो पा रहा। अगर नहीं हो पा रहा होगा, then we'll go to the logic and it says that it is a prime number. Okay, so this is the logic behind it. Now let's ask the question. Ask the question to the system, and I'm putting some question here. The question is 5 प्राइम है या नहीं? सो 5 तो डेफिनेटली प्राइम नंबर है, क्योंकि 5 किससे डिवाइड होगा? खुद से डिवाइड होगा या 1 से? तो 1 तो यहाँ कंसीडर नहीं कर रहे हैं, खुद से डिवाइड होना चाहिए, राइट? और किसी से डिवाइड नहीं होना चाहिए। सो इट सेज दैट ट्रू, 5 is a prime number. Let's go for the higher numbers. Let's say 51. Could you say 51 is a prime number or not? The system will tell you that it is not a prime number. 51 is divided by something. Okay, थोड़ा देखते हैं जो हमको पता होगा, like 17 देखते हैं। 17 is a prime number. 67 is a prime number. Okay, 97, I don't know, ये भी प्राइम नंबर है। 101 is also a prime number. So there are different prime numbers we have in the list. So this is how we can put the logic. अगर आप लोगों ने कुछ logic already सीखा है that how you can find out the prime number, you can put those logic into the program and then you can get the values. एक और है determine the greatest common divisor of two positive numbers, GCD. How you will find out the GCD? So how you will find out the greatest common divisor of two numbers? So for that, we have some logic here. Now here, what it is saying that the GCD x, and then it says 0 and x. So it is finding out the GCD of two numbers, the x and 0. So GCD क्या होगा? X होगा. If x is greater than 0, x and y का GCD G होगा if y is greater than 0 and z is x mod y, and again we'll call the GCD with yz z. So ये जो GCD फाइंडिंग आउट का जो एल्गोरिथम है, ये यूक्लिडियन एल्गोरिथम है. आप लोगों ने अगर पढ़ा होगा यूक्लिडियन एल्गोरिथम, सेम लॉजिक यहाँ पर अप्लाई किया गया. ओके, here we are using the function which is already declared function. We doesn't have to declare it. Arithmetic function GCD that we are dividing by 2. Declare GCD as the arithmetic function so that you can use it like G is GCD. So let's see this. अगर हम लोग इसको यूज नहीं करते हैं तो हम लोग कुछ कर सकते हैं, हम लोग कुछ कर सकते हैं या नहीं कर सकते. तो आप लोग देख रहे हो, these 3 lines are comment out, is not the part of the program. These 2 lines are the part of the program. Let's say I want to find out the GCD of two numbers. Okay, so I'll write down here GCD of, let's say 4 and 6. Could you tell me what is the GCD of 4 and 6? कौन सा कॉमन डिविजर है? सो आई थिंक यहाँ पर 2 होना चाहिए. और भी हमको वेरिएबल भी लिखना पड़ेगा यहाँ पर, मान लो q. यस, सो द ग्रेटेस्ट कॉमन डिविजर बिटवीन 4 and 6 इज 2. 2 से दोनों डिवाइड हो जाएंगे. मान लो हमारे पास आ गया 15 और 25. सो इसमें ग्रेटेस्ट कॉमन डिविजर क्या होगा? आई थिंक इट विल बी 5. yes, it is 5. Okay, now between 28 and 70, which is the greatest common divisor? So I think it will be 14. Yes, so 14 is the greatest common divisor between 28 and 70. So it's giving you the answer. Okay, so it is fine. So this is your logic. This is a simple logic that we are doing. We're just calling the function recursively. Okay, so these are all different type of examples in Prolog.